Most people think you need to be rich to invest, but the truth is I started investing with just $10. And at the time, I had no idea what I was doing, like many of you who could be watching this video as well. I was just watching my phone every day as the numbers went up and down. But over time, I learned something very important about investing that completely changed the way that I build wealth. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to LamboView. On this channel, we talk about Lamborghini ownership, finances, and the mindset it takes to reach big goals. And today I want to talk about how I actually got started in investing, because it didn't start with huge money. I'm not a financial advisor of any sort, so please do your own research whenever you're investing. So keep that in mind as you're watching this whole entire video. So when I first started investing, I downloaded an app called Robinhood. I put my first $10 just to see what would happen, and honestly, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no strategy. I would just watch the stock go up and down all day long. Green days felt great, red days felt terrible. But at that stage, I was basically gambling emotionally, not investing. So there is a big difference between the two. And for this video, we're going to be talking about just that. One big mistake I made early on was thinking that I could day trade. Buying stocks, selling them quickly, trying to make fast money. And this is where a lot of beginners get trapped, because it feels exciting, but the reality is most people lose money trying to day trade. They become stressful and emotional, and that is absolutely not how real wealth is built. The big lesson, the biggest thing I've eventually learned was that the best investors don't constantly trade. They invest and then they leave it alone and simply forget about it. Instead of watching the market every hour, the real strategy that I used was to invest consistently and let the time do the work. The power of starting small. The cool thing about investing today is that you don't need thousands and thousands of dollars to start. You can literally start with $1. And the goal is to not get rich overnight. The goal is to build the habit, because once that habit starts, the things just start to begin compound. And then the next thing you know, your money is going to turn into a snowball that's going to continue to grow. And then as the years go by, that is going to make you a ton of money. It's going to help you retire, and hopefully it's going to get you that Lamborghini. But a lot of people ask me how someone can afford something like a Lamborghini. They assume you have to make huge money right away, but the truth is that wealth usually comes from small decisions repeated over time. Saving money, investing consistently, letting it compound. Those habits are what eventually led to big results. The strategy that worked for me is simple. Invest your money regularly, buy strong companies or indexes such as Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia. What I would do is for everyone to kind of look into the S&P 500. If you have no idea what you're doing, just put your first dollar into a fund or an ETF called the S&P 500. The one that I had used was VOO. You put $1 into that, and then it will grow about 10 to 12% every single year. And then the more you put into that fund, your money will grow faster. But once you do that, you either keep adding to it or you leave it alone. My personal advice would be every week you set up a system. You get your paycheck, you take $10 from that every single week, and then you put it into VOO. That's what I did. Because the longer your money stays invested, the more powerful the compounding growth becomes. So let's talk about the mindset. Instead of thinking, how can I make more money today? Start thinking, how can I make money for the next 20 years of my life? That mindset was the shift that changed everything. If you were somebody who wants to get started into investing, what I did was I took this phone that you have right now. I went into the app store. I downloaded this app called Robinhood. You download the app, you make your account, you link your bank account, you read all the terms and conditions, you do your own research on how to invest, and then get to a point where you can just simply throw $1 into the S&P 500. A good ticker symbol, in my opinion, would be VOO. Just throw $1 into there or $10, whatever you want, and then just watch how it goes up and down throughout the month. Again, this is a good thing that everyone should do if you really just want to get started with $1. And then as you get more comfortable, and then as you start seeing that $1, $10 start to grow, then what I would do is set up a system where whenever you get your paycheck every single week, every single Friday, you take a certain amount, and then you automatically have a system set up where it just takes $10 from your account, and then it puts it into VOO or the S&P 500 or whatever stock or fund you have. Once you do that, then things are going to be working in the background. You have your system set up, and then you just let it do its thing. And as you get more comfortable, you change that $10 a week to $50 a week, and then you get more comfortable with that. You take it from $50 a week to $100 a week, and then you get the point. That's literally all you have to do in terms of investing. A lot of people try to get things really complicated by trying to time the market. It doesn't matter if you buy it at the worst time or at the best time. The key thing is that you put your money in there and then you get it in there as soon as you can and let it do its thing. Time in the market, again, beats timing the market. That has been a saying that has been said by the most profitable investors out there. Less is more. Keep that in mind. So your part one is going to be the fact that you're going to go out there, you're going to learn how to build your skills to make more money. And then as you make more money, you put more money into that investing account. And then now you're making money in two different ways. You're making money from your job, and then you're making money through your investing. Keep in mind that Robinhood way is not necessarily the correct order on how you want to invest. The real correct way is to add funds to your 401k, Roth IRA first, and then third would be the one where you put money into Robinhood. But the reason why I say start off with Robinhood as your first timing is because the app is, in my opinion, very, very basic, really easy to use. And it basically gets you into the market, and it's the easiest way to just get the ball rolling. Then I would recommend immediately learning more things about a 401k retirement, a Roth IRA. Keep that in mind that those are more important currently than investing into a taxable brokerage account. But the benefit of investing into an account like a Robinhood is that you can pull out the money penalty free whenever you want. So say, for example, if I'm 30 years old and I put in a crap ton of money into it, if I put it into a brokerage account like a Robinhood, I don't have to wait till 65 years old in order for me to pull out that money and not get penalized for it. The catch is that you got to pay taxes on whatever your profits are. So if I was pulling out money from there and then I pulled out a profit of, say, $100,000, I have to pay taxes on whatever profit I made. So that's the only trade-off there. But the way that this gets you into a Lamborghini is the more you learn how to invest, the more you do it, the more consistent you stay with it. And then as the years go by, your money is going to compound and multiply. And then eventually it's going to get you to, say, for example, $1 million. And then with that $1 million, you can do whatever you want with it. My personal recommendation would be to keep a big chunk in there. But if you wanted to, say, for example, take out 250 grand from your $1 million and then take it to a Lamborghini store and buy a car in cash, you could do that. Again, do your research. I'm not a financial advisor, but that's just what I did. But I'm curious what you guys think. Did you start investing yet? And if you could start with just $1 today, what would you invest it in? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you all for the next video.